Hey everybody, David here. This is episode 2 on my horse farm building. And can you guess what's happened? Again, the replay mod seems to be hiccuping quite a bit and I've lost a bunch of footage. But I've done this side, the long side of the build, even though there's no footage. It was supposed to be rendering and then it just went whoop, whole thing crashed. Nah, no more montage, no more recording, nothing's gone. Nah. Which is very irritating, but that's okay. That's sort of, life. Something I've been playing with. Looks really, really big. And then really, really small. Focus, David, focus. So I'm going to continue doing the filling in the framework and following the basic. I do it in stages. I do the frame, usually wire frame, not always with wool, but just some kind of frame, usually with whatever palette I'm intending to use, and then I fill it in with glass and walls with the basics, and then add the final stage is details. Part of the simple part, like after doing the wireframe, you fill it in. I also do floors on some builds, not this one though, because it's meant to be a facade, but we'll see what happens when we get to the detail part. I'm still trying to figure out why replay mod isn't really working so well. I think it's my hard drive. It's filling up with space and it probably needs more space to function. But we'll see what happens. For now, we get to see this angle of my build with a pretty shader and the wavy trees. Such nice views. Giant David. Anyway, I'm going to stop tutoring now. And we shall continue with this build. So, wish me luck and cue the music. and welcome back. It has been a Murphy week, or Loki, depending on your pantheon. So I lost quite a bit of other bits from the replay, and you can probably tell I'm numb brain day. Woo! I'm actually pre-migraine, so if I mangle my words, please forgive me. But it's been, with this build, it's been technical problem after technical problem, and when the technical problems got resolved, I cleared my hard drive so there was more space, and that fixed whatever was wrong with replay. Then I started getting pre-migraine. So it's one of those just times. The trickster gods are enjoying their play with me. But I finished it, as you saw in most of the montage, and then I've actually, over a little bit of time, added a few different changes and upgraded and fiddled and hummed and hawed and irritated and threw a tantrum, walk away, come back, try and fix it again. So I'm at the stage of, how do I say this without swearing? It can just stay not perfect. It can just stay that way, and I'll just let it be. The other one annoyed me far more, so the original. So I shall give you a tour of all the bits I like and all the bits I don't like, and then I will put this thing to bed and continue in the process. What I want to do is from here to create all the backdrops for the different scenes in Rise of Hawk, and while I'm recording the audiobook, have some kind of Minecraft visual. And I can forget that this is technically not a canon building and just let it be. Alright, I'll just turn around. Okay, so the primary thing that was annoying the heck out of me is this building. I changed the roof from slate to copper because it felt too dark. The whole thing was just too dark. I changed, this was the original colour, and now it's this colour, which you can't really tell in the rather yellow light. But it's quite a difference in colour, and I still don't like it. It's ugly. But I can't think of a solution. It probably annoys me because it's the same sort of shape and dullness as the original. So I might just leave it and let it be annoying, because some things just are. I did the courtyard, which I quite enjoy the texturing. I'm not entirely sure if the texturing worked, but I kind of like it. There's a lot of really good options for stone. Lots of different kinds of blocks, and you can add extra little bits of colour with the mossy and all that. So I quite like it. Just a small thing. I put a gate up because it's technically meant to be abandoned. You know, locked up and abandoned. I'm trailing street lamps. I'm not sure if that'll be remotely functional, but I kind of like the look. Light is under there, but it's probably not. It's probably too low, too high, because like on street level, it's, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 blocks away from you. So I also bone mealed the heck out of every greenery on the outside, so it looks a bit overrun, like, you know, the gardeners quit. That's still gonna annoy the heck out of me. Oh well, that's okay. That's life. I also modified the original of this because having everything made out of just this orange, the terracotta, it was just too much orange. It wasn't enough interesting, and it just bugged me. So I put the pretty carved quartz. I like this design actually. In the bits that stuck out, the columns that stuck out. I kind of like it. I'm still not psyched. It looks much nicer in this light, but in the mid daylight, it's still too orange. I also added in fake balconies, which kind of breaks up it quite nicely. I don't mind it. I just get this feeling that I need to fix something. The big L shape building with the same sort of palette got really boring, so I've broken it up with prismarine walls, which I kind of like the contrast. I think the contrast works a little better in the moonlight, but that's okay. I'm going to keep that for now. I also had some fun trying to texture. I'm not familiar, I'm not very confident with texturing. But I had a go, and I like this bit, and then I didn't texture the transition from there to there very well. But this, the black stone, it sort of reminds me of, like, you know, the old roads that they used to sort of roll out, and if they didn't get like regular tar or something, they crack. Sort of reminded me of that, like, sort of, it's been so badly maintained that it started cracking. And then I transitioned from road to, like, there's a lot more gravel in that direction, but from the distance I don't think it's too bad. I'm still learning texturing, but I don't really like it on buildings. I like my buildings to be clean, unless they're deliberately supposed to be overrun. You know, like with vines and mossy bits and stuff. But this is pretty good. I'll probably continue fiddling because, you know, that's what artists do. We fiddle. Still a little bit. I like the shade, like the dark light gradient, but the tuff looks green. This stuff, tuff, it looks greenish, and the basalt looks sort of purplish. And I'm not sure if that works, but that's okay. It's just a thing. If I try and make everything perfect, I'll never finish anything. I haven't decided if I'm going to do anything with this little chunk of backyard. Obviously, I'm going to put wool on the inside so you can't, you know, walk up and see, oh look, there's horses inside. Why are there horses in an office block? You know, I'm working under the theory that one day other people will be able to see, walk their characters through the city. So I'll obviously do the wall on the inside, but I might put a fence up, or I don't know, make it a derelict parking lot, or might actually not be wide enough for parking. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It'd have to be an open parking lot. But so I haven't decided what to do with that area. I also keep fiddling with this entrance. I don't like it. Can't figure out why. again, I'll just fiddle with it. I decided I'm going to turn some of this block into a big parking lot, because even though this is all facade for me, if it was in real life, that would be a pretty big office building and or factory. There'd be a lot of workers in there, and the courtyard is not big enough for parking. And this would be older than the mall. So this car parking lot, this car parking building, which probably needs another, it could have other layers on it, but it would be second. It would have been built here after this building with the mall. The mall is supposed to be newer, although I'm going to fix this roof because this line irritates me. Ugh, I think my pre-migraine is making me grouchy. I need more chocolate or something. So what I was saying was, I probably will quickly, at some point while watching a movie or something, put in a car parking lot here, because there would be a lot of workers in a complex like this, and the courtyard is not enough parking spaces. And while the people of Arana, and actually the Five Nations in general, are much less car obsessed than we are, they also have mostly sort of electric type non-fuel cars. They'll still have transport. They'll still have transport needs. I could even make like half the parking lot be for like trucks or something. I don't know. Haven't really decided on the story for it. Once I've decided the story, then I can decide on what it needs. So like if this was mostly in like apartment blocks that were mashed together, or like an old factory that was converted to apartments, you would definitely need a lot of parking spaces. But if it's like half accommodation, half working, it'd be different. So I'll figure out the story. I made my hole in the roof a little bit bigger. I probably need it to be a little wider, so I still run into the ceiling a few times. As you saw on the montage, I put the map up the right way up, so that's north. I've also been, these banners I've been using to mark specific locations on the maps. Blue is agency, green is rebels, white is civilian, and black is the Spades gangsters. So, like, the Ace of Spades Casino has a black banner, and the nightclub from Banshee Haven has a black banner. The agency's blue, Agency Tower, and Facility 47, which is where my friend Heather got a character. Even more of a compliment, she got a character that gets murdered in Rise of Hawk. Her character's name is Hetera. And I'm sorry, that's probably spoilers, but don't get attached. Don't get attached to anyone but the 4 main characters, because they could die. So that's Facility 47, where Hetera escapes in. But what's interesting, for those that haven't read the books, which is almost everyone, in Rise of Hawk you see her die, and in Banshee Haven, which is book 3, you see, or currently, it might actually turn into just a short story, she escapes. I always end up doing things backwards. You know, people see their deaths first. So yeah, that's blue as well, Facility 47. This whole lot is going to be park. I may move the chess. I can't remember what they're called in other countries, but it's a motel. The chess set motel might move down 1 block, but the park is going to go all the way across to the zoo. I'm still doing labelling. See, there's the park, the main park entrance, or one of. There's one there, and there's actually one here. And that's going to be a main entrance as well. But it's quite a distance to fly, because I have to have the banner and the specific map. Like, I'll just make sure I get the middle of it. That's one map. So it's a lot of maps, and I have to come back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and make sure I don't make a mistake, and it's irritating. Oh yeah, I'm definitely in a grump. So the cathedral, haven't labelled Star Mall yet. I labelled the factory, horse farm. The white, because it's technically, but like there's quite a lot of rebel places, like Reese's building and the White Stone Manor. Flying is not easy when you're in close, so you've got quite a lot more rebel locations than anything else, but that's okay. I'm just going through and then slowly labelling them, like that one, I think, is Talon's temporary apartment. You only see it for like one scene and then he's gone. Stuff like that. So I'm quite happy with how this is going to go, and it's a little intimidating how big the space is, but if I want the city to get bigger, I can. I mean, it can't really get too much bigger long-wise, this downways, because most of that's ocean, but, you know, at the bottom I could maybe put, I think it's this road that leads to the port. So water will be here-ish, going down, and then over here it'll be all ocean, and then we can have Sanctuary Island at the bottom, which hasn't been mentioned in the books yet, but it's part of the design. It may actually not be mentioned in the main series. It's in the background kind of thing. So there's room to expand, which I'm quite initially intimidated by, and then also kind of hopeful because it can get bigger. I also spent a day putting all of these signs back up, the plans. These are all the ones that were specifically you know, hanging in the air at the back of the original. I ordered them a little bit more and fiddled and made it a little bit more easier to see. And this is going to be the order that I need to do it in, so that I can do the audiobook with the visuals. So the first two scenes happen near the Star Mall, and then at Talon's abandoned apartment, and then the park. So it's sort of in order. And then I can start recording. Anyway, I have been talking for 20 minutes. This episode 1 and 2, well, these two, the horse farm build has been mostly me talking. That's not a bad thing. It's just not a preferable thing. So I shall stop talking. I hope you enjoyed the process, even though it was sort of disordered and random. And until next time, ara ni tasa.